Welcome back to Stoic Reactions. If you're here for inspiring stories, timeless wisdom, and the profound teachings of Stoicism, you've come to the right place. Before we dive into today's powerful narrative, a journey through the life of Epictetus, a man who rose from the depths of slavery to become one of the greatest philosophers in history, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. It's the only way you can truly support this channel and ensure we continue bringing you thought-provoking content week after week. Now let's embark on an incredible journey of resilience, courage, and philosophical mastery. Our story begins around 50 AD in the bustling streets of Hierapolis, a city located in present-day Turkey. Epictetus was born into slavery, a status that defined not just his profession, but his entire existence. Owned by Epictetus, a secretary to Emperor Nero, Epictetus's life was far from easy. Imagine waking up each day knowing you have no control over your fate. Yet even in these dire circumstances, young Epictetus exhibited a remarkable ability to endure hardship without resentment. It is said that Epictetus once broke Epictetus's leg in a fit of anger. Despite the agony, Epictetus is rumored to have responded calmly, observing the event with stoic acceptance, saying, "You will break my leg." And when it did break, he remarked, "See, I told you." This story, whether apocryphal or not, encapsulates the Stoic ideal, the power to endure pain and injustice without losing one's inner peace. How did a slave like Epictetus gain access to philosophy, you may wonder? Epictetus, despite his cruelty, allowed Epictetus to study under Musonius Rufus, a renowned Stoic teacher. Here, Epictetus was introduced to the teachings of Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasized the importance of virtue, reason, and living in harmony with nature. Imagine the contrast. A slave learning that true freedom lies not in external circumstances, but in mastering one's own mind. Epictetus embraced this idea wholeheartedly. He learned that while he could not control his status as a slave, he could control his thoughts, reactions, and choices. He began to see life not as a series of misfortunes, but as a training ground for developing resilience and wisdom. As he would later teach his own students, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. After Nero's death and Epictetus's subsequent fall from grace, Epictetus was granted his freedom. This marked a turning point in his life. No longer bound by the chains of slavery, he chose to dedicate himself to philosophy. He moved to Nicopolis in Greece, where he established a school of Stoicism. Epictetus's teachings were practical, aimed at helping individuals navigate life's challenges with dignity and courage. He didn't just theorize about Stoicism, he lived it. His life's work revolved around empowering others to recognize that while they could not control external events, they could always control their inner state. One of his most famous quotes is, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them." Think about this for a moment. How often do we let setbacks, disappointments, or even minor inconveniences rob us of our peace? Epictetus's wisdom reminds us that our perception is the key to our resilience. Epictetus didn't leave any writings himself, but his student Arion compiled his teachings in the Discourses and The Enchiridion. These texts, despite being centuries old, remain profoundly relevant. These works are treasure troves of practical advice for modern living. Here's a story from the Discourses that illustrates his teaching. One day, a student asked Epictetus how to handle insults. "They sting and linger in my mind like thorns. I cannot find peace." Epictetus replied, "If someone handed your body to another person, you would resist, would you not? You would cry foul, declaring that no one has the right to control your body against your will. Why then do you feel no shame in handing over your mind to others? Why do you allow their words to dictate your inner state? Consider this. You are not troubled by the actions of others, but by your interpretations of their actions. An insult by itself holds no power. It is your judgment that gives it weight. If you choose to see it as trivial, it becomes so. If you see it as an assault, it will wound you. This simple yet profound analogy teaches us to guard our inner peace fiercely. Just as we wouldn't let someone physically control us, we shouldn't let their words or actions dictate our emotional state. Understand, young one, that you alone are the master of your mind. Just as a fortress guards its gates, you must guard your inner peace. When someone insults you, imagine yourself as a mighty tree. The winds of insult may howl and rage, but they cannot uproot you unless you let them. Strengthen your roots, and you shall remain unmoved. Thank you, Master. I see now that I've been giving away what should remain within my control. I shall strive to be like the tree. This story, simple yet profound, encapsulates one of the greatest lessons of Epictetus. Guard your inner peace fiercely. Just as we wouldn't let someone physically control us, we mustn't let their words or actions dictate our emotions. In doing so, we reclaim our power, our tranquility, our freedom. How can we apply Epictetus's teachings today? Let's explore a few scenarios. 1. Workplace challenges. Criticism from your boss. Imagine this. You're at work and your boss delivers harsh criticism about your performance. Perhaps it's about a project that didn't go as expected or a mistake you made in a report. It's easy to feel upset, defensive, or even angry, but if we apply Epictetus's principle, we can shift our response. Epictetus's teaching: focus on what's within your control. You can't control your boss's opinion or the way they express their feedback, but you can control how you respond. Rather than reacting with anger or defensiveness, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is there truth to what they're saying? How can I learn from this? If the feedback is valid, use it as an opportunity to improve. Maybe it's a chance to sharpen your skills or rethink your approach to work. If the feedback doesn't seem fair or constructive, let it go. Don't waste energy on what you can't change. Focus on how you can do better next time and leave the rest behind. In short, you control your actions and your growth, not other people's opinions. In 2.2, personal setbacks, the ruined weekend trip. Let's say you've planned a weekend getaway. You're excited, packed, and ready to go. But then the weather takes an unexpected turn. A heavy rainstorm hits, and your plans are completely ruined. What now? Do you sit and stew in frustration over what you can't change? Epictetus's teaching: accept what you cannot control and focus on what you can. It's natural to feel disappointed, but instead of getting upset over the weather, recognize that it's beyond your control. The rain isn't something you can change, so rather than fixating on the loss of your trip, ask yourself, what can I do now? Maybe you spend the day indoors, enjoying a good book or catching up on movies you've been wanting to watch. Perhaps you use the time to relax, reflect, and recharge. In short, the rain may have ruined your plans, but it can't take away your ability to enjoy the moment. Shift your focus to what's within your control. 3. Health issues, illness or injury. Facing illness or injury can feel like a crushing blow. Whether it's a chronic health condition or a sudden accident, dealing with physical discomfort or limitations can be incredibly challenging. How can Epictetus's teachings help here? Epictetus's teaching: resilience is key. Accept what you cannot change and focus on what you can. It's not easy to accept an illness or injury, especially when it limits your ability to do the things you love. But remember, just like with the weather or workplace challenges, your response is what you can control. You can't immediately change your health, but you can control how you care for yourself and how you choose to deal with it. Perhaps you need to slow down and rest. Follow your doctor's advice or adjust your lifestyle to accommodate your condition. Focus on doing what you can to take care of your body, even in the face of adversity. Epictetus teaches that our inner strength comes from our ability to persist in the face of hardship, not from avoiding pain or discomfort. In short, you can't control the illness, but you can control how you respond through acceptance, care, and resilience. And 4, relationships. Conflict with a friend. We all face moments where we experience conflict with friends or family. Imagine a scenario where a close friend betrays your trust or says something hurtful. It can be emotionally overwhelming, but applying Epictetus's wisdom can make a world of difference. Epictetus's teaching: separate your emotions from external events. While it's natural to feel hurt or angry, Epictetus encourages us not to let these feelings take over. The actions of others are beyond your control, but your response to those actions is yours to shape. Ask yourself, what is in my control here? How can I approach this situation with understanding rather than frustration or resentment? Perhaps you can have an open conversation with your friend about how you feel. Or if it's a deeper issue, you may need to accept that the relationship has changed. In short, you can control how you react, and this will determine how you heal and move forward. Epictetus's influence extended far beyond his time. His teachings inspired Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, whose Meditations remains a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Even today, leaders, athletes, and thinkers draw strength from Epictetus's wisdom. One modern example is James Stockdale, a US Navy pilot who was captured during the Vietnam War. Stockdale credited Epictetus's teachings with helping him endure years of torture and imprisonment. He famously carried a copy of The Enchiridion with him, finding solace in its timeless truths. Epictetus's life reminds us that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about facing it with grace and strength. His journey from slavery to philosophical greatness shows that no matter where we start, we have the power to transform our lives through the mastery of our own minds. If you found inspiration in today's story, don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who could use a dose of Stoic wisdom. And most importantly, subscribe to Stoic Reactions and hit the notification bell. It's the simplest way to support this channel and ensure we keep exploring these incredible stories together. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, stay resilient, stay inspired, and remember, true freedom lies within.